Fuel your body with complete multivitamin, the perfect balance of essential nutrients for daily health and wellness. Carefully formulated from natural ingredients, our multivitamin packs vitamins A, C, D, E, plus key minerals like zinc and magnesium to support your immune system and boost energy. Just 1 tablet a day is all you need. Take it with water and feel the difference as prescribed by your healthcare provider. Stay active, stay strong, stay ready with Complete Multivitamin, your daily dose of vitality. Complete Multivitamin, simple, powerful nutrition. Go get this product at blackhotfirenetwork.com at the Sports and Nutrition store.
For only $32.90. Good afternoon, family. From my end, exactly 49 minutes past 1 p.m. Hope you had a beautiful weekend. Grand Rising, wherever you're listening to this from, on YouTube, Rumble, and BitChute. Welcome back again to yet another beautiful week where we get to discuss different issues happening in Africa and within its people. This is the Pan-African Bliss Show. My name is Joby. And of course, we got Mr. Black of Fire as well in the building with us. Karibu sana Keith, how you doing one more time?
Asante sana. Karibu sana to everybody out there. Tried to get some sleep today, but Airtime and Shimani woke me up because no one knew what Capri was at to bring him the ride to work.
Yeah, he was not around because I also tried to reach Dimore. I wanted him to get something to deliver at the office, but I had to get someone else to do that, another bike person. But yeah, I think he doesn't have a phone. That's what
Yeah,
I'm
his,
looking.
I think I forgot he got his phone taken when he got arrested. I forgot about that.
Oh shit, for real?
Yeah, they took his phone. I
Damn.
forgot. Yeah, I forgot about that. They took his phone. That's right. I forgot that about them taking his phone. I don't never answer his text no more. He's always remember keep the guy's phone. I said, that's right. I forgot. Well,
Damn. Why did they take his phone and they paid? That is crazy. Anyway, I didn't know that. I didn't really get. I think that part I didn't know. But anyway, family, karibuni sana to the rest of the people joining. Hope you had a beautiful weekend and welcome to another beautiful episode of the Pan African Bliss Show. Today we'll be talking about the conversation I promised on Friday about how the Indian community became the 44th tribe, and before them becoming the 44th tribe, how they've been claiming they should be part, why they need to fit in and why they should be chosen as the 44th tribe. They claim to have contributed a lot in the development of our country. When you talk about building roads,
they came and they was fighting wars against African people. That's how they got there. Came in with the British as a fighting force and killing African people. But the Africans, once again, the only people who allow enemies to stay among them. Only African does this. Something's wrong with the African's mind. You allow your enemies and the criminals, whether in Uganda, Kenya, everywhere the British went, they brought them in. Everywhere, but in South Africa, Zimbabwe, and everybody knows they're racist as shit.
Yeah, so we're going to be discussing that as our major topic. And I couldn't find a really cleaner video, but I have a video which slightly explained dots to dots how this took place to today, them becoming the 44th tribe. That was 8 years ago when Uhuru Kenyatta was a president. And also I'm going to share another video of them talking about how the Kenyan Indians are treated like outsiders, yet they have deeper roots in the indigenous culture in Kenya. So they've always played victim.
They're indigenous. Their roots are deeper than Africans who are African. You know how crazy these things be sound to me. How disrespectful these people are.
It is very. But yeah, as we start with that, a quick reminder once again to download our app on the Google Play Store. You can get yourself the amazing merchandise and, of course, the amazing organic supplements on the like of multivitamin, well brain and focus formula. We have Moringa Pure, Ashwagandha. On the like of skincare products, we have aloe cucumber soap, we have shea butter, and so much for you covered, even on the likes of amazing organic coffee products, Manuka honey coffee, and so much more. So ensure you get yourself the app on the Google Play Store. Download the app. No money required for you to sign in or download the app. It's free of charge. Once you have the app, you can literally listen to us via the radio segment. If you're using a phone, an Android phone, if you're using an Apple device, you can use our website link streaming down below. www.blackoutfirenetwork.com. And I hope you stay connected and don't miss a show. And in case you miss any through the app, you can be taken to other streaming platforms like Rumble, BitChute, where in case the shows are also taken down on YouTube, on Rumble and BitChute, you won't miss them. So kindly download our app on the Google Play Store. Once again, Karibuni Sana. So as we get started with today's conversation, we're going to start with Mali, what took place during the weekend. Mali, or rather the Alliance Sahel state, has no joke. We've seen France has literally been collapsing since they were kicked out majorly from the most of the West African countries, and of course other countries also which took part in kicking them out and nationalizing their
Because
mineral resources.
exactly because all these European countries came in and stole. They always were poor. I want Africans to understand this. Europe has always been poor. It's the capture of African lands, the African people, that now they've stolen all your wealth and made themselves wealthy. Because Africa was never poor, ever. Not a poor place. Just that
Period.
you're poor people now.
There's
Go ahead.
an animation I was watching yesterday. I didn't get the chance to finish it, but it was very interesting, showcasing how the Europeans came to Africa, re- literally explaining everything how it took place as always in the history. They came, they saw we had so much, we were so kind, we were offering, we welcomed them, fed them, made them drink and eat, feel comfortable, and then they came back again now, commanding and demanding to take over these places and even the kingdoms. And if you couldn't give them the access, they were burning you down and killing even the kings and all that. So I'd like to literally, if we can maybe watch that sometime as part of maybe a show. I don't know if we can be able to do that on the network, maybe my show, because it's an hour like animation, which is very interesting. And then there's another one I
Well,
showed you, Keith, which is now on Amazon. I've not been able to watch it because it's charging so much. But I don't know. I think Amazon does release things for free after some time, if I'm not
yeah,
wrong.
there's a
Okay.
certain amount of time. Must be a new movie then. It was,
Yeah, it's
what's
really,
up?
really interesting. Really
Well,
showcasing how white people came to Rhodesia, took over, claiming lands and influencing racism to their children, not telling them the truth that they have invaded most of this land. So there's this white girl who grows up questioning because her nanny tells her who Africans were, how they lived. And since they came, their color came to Africa, there's been a change in a lot, and lack of freedom in a lot. So I wish we could see those two. But back to Mali. Yeah, so that is basically what is happening. People claiming back their heritage, and the Alliance Sahel state has been doing that. So now, despite them nationalizing their mineral resources, kicking out the French in terms of that is the
the
UN,
parasite.
yeah, in every single way. And right now, during the weekend, we saw them kicking out the 5 French embassy staff, saying that they are no longer welcome in the country. That is Mali. Mali expelled 5 French embassy staff in France after
He should
France,
have.
two
He should
Malian.
have. And my fault. When you do revolutionary, you got to shut down all the embassies. The embassies are where they spying on you at. That's
True,
where the CIAs and their intelligence agencies are located in those embassies. You must
true.
shut down all the embassies and get them out of there. Good.
True. But I like this because this is a tit for tat now thing. Because for so long, Africans we've not been proactive when it comes to this kind of actions. Of you see,
True.
our people all over Africa when they go to Italy, they go to France, when they go to Paris, wherever they are, literally they it's the same place, right? They get kicked out or they get mistreated, and we've seen the only person who has been having that proactive kind of movement, apart from the Alliance Sahel state leaders. Now it's the Namibian president, the female president. She's been very strict with these white people coming to the country. Last week, she said there's no visa free anymore for white people coming to just Africa how they want. Number one, they come here overstay. We don't know where they're running away from their countries. We don't have their records clearly. Most of them, like we say, they're pedophiles. Most of them are living criminal records back there, and they run
Yep.
to Africa, come here acting like they're the superior people or the most amazing people. Yet you don't have any records of how and what they are doing here. So she's very strict with the country. She's not only number one. Say that Africans, no Africans, she said that Americans need to require a visa to go to Namibia because, again, Africans were required to have visas when it comes to them. But these people can come here anyhow they want. And
Yeah, yeah,
it was
because they have
free.
exactly because they have
Free.
control over Africa, and
Mm-hmm.
also she's talking about taking back that land. Remember, you looked it up. I think it's like 80% of the white people in Namibia own all the land. Like white people own like 80% of the land in Namibia that they stole 100 years ago when they came in.
Mm-hmm. Exactly. So shout out to her. She's really doing amazing. So Mali has expelled five French embassy staff after France ordered two Malian diplomats to leave Paris. And the tensions began when Mali arrested a French national accused of being involved in intelligence
Of course,
activity.
I'm spying. Of course, Joey. That's what they're there for. To make sure we
Mm-hmm.
can overthrow the country, destabilize it, and steal and keep stealing resources to make us rich and make you Negroes in poverty. That's the
Yep.
game, Joey.
Mm-hmm. France responded by expelling two Malian diplomats, declaring them persona non grata
Son of Grata.
after the arrest of a French national in Mali accused by Malian authorities of espionage and destabilization. And Mali's ruling government has ended the several
Espionage.
peace and military cooperations agreements with France, and one is called the SOFA, which used to legally allow France forces to operate inside Mali. So this is an amazing move. I love it personally. It's a tit for tat, which should be long have
The
been applied.
funds are waking up, exactly. Why are there no
Yeah.
African forces in Europe?
Mm-hmm.
Huh? Why are there no African bases in Europe? Because these
Mm-hmm.
bases are not there as any kind of help in Africa. They're the ones bringing the terrorists, fund them, everything else. The
Mm-hmm.
ones and they're stealing all the resources. So you stay poor, and then they get to talk shit. Oh, what do you think about when you think about Africa? Oh, I think about poverty. Even though it's the richest continent on the planet, I think about poverty. Because you're stealing out of there. The people making you rich. Oh no, we're not talking none of that. I think of
Mm-hmm.
Africa. I think about poor people.
Yeah,
Poverty.
but just like you've said, the embassies should all be shut down. We should have our own alliances, like they are building, the alliance they are building. That should be the only organization we have, Africa for Africans, and because that should be the organization literally which speaks for
You got
Africans,
you
Africa
got
for
to learn.
Africans.
You got to learn that slogan, Africa for African. Okay, they've been
Mm-hmm.
trying to steal Africa, guys, for the last 2,000 years.
Mm-hmm.
Literally trying to steal it. While you
Mm-hmm.
got Northern Africa with invaders and Southern Africa with invaders.
Exactly. That is so true. But shout out to Mali with that move, and we expect more confidence in them becoming the state they wish to be for Africans. But yeah, we have Cameroon, the daughter of that is Paul Biya, who actually is warning people of Cameroon not to vote for his father again because this man has not created any employment. Rather, he's caused more destabilization in the country, stagnation, and poverty in the country. So
They've
shout out to
done
him for
nothing.
standing up.
Been there,
Yeah.
been there for damn near 50 years. What has he done? The country's poor.
Mm-hmm.
Family's rich. Whole family's goofy skin. Whole goofy family hates being African. They skin. Whole family skin bleaches and shit. Disgusting. It's crazy. Their minds. How's he ahead of an African nation? Don't want to be an African. It is absolutely insane how. But they're puppets. They're the
Mm-hmm.
puppets. That's why they're there.
Yeah. But her name is Brenda Biya, the daughter of the president Paul Biya, who has publicly urged Cameroonians not to vote for her father, 92 years old of age, who seeks an eighth term in office in this October. She blamed his
They,
father.
ne- they never voted for him anyway. Those things, those elections are rigged by white
Well,
people.
the people don't know that. That is the problem.
I know.
So this is a
Hey,
call. This is a call of where, hey, you need to stand up. If this man tries to stand up again, it is your voice that should speak up. This is why we go back to, we're seeing now, apart from Nepal, I was getting some information earlier, leave alone Nepal, we have that is which country is this? Peru. We have Peru, where the Gen Zs are protesting because
oh, in Peru. Okay, South America.
they're tired of their president and they want him out. So it's a call, literally, the fact that she's a youth, and of course, We go back to also our presidents, even here in Kenya, it is happening. The president or the daughter of the president, who is Charlene Ruto, she also gets attacked because you can't tell us you stand up with the youths, yet your father is stealing and you support everything he says. You don't stand up for the youth. You should be against everything he does because you know it's all based on corruption.
She's not going to be against it because it made her life cushy. She's got a good life.
Exactly. So what is shocking, because you see now we're not used to this. So Africans are shocked because we're not used to this. We're not used to seeing daughters of presidents or leaders or their children standing up for the people. It is always a nepotism. Let's go. Let's get
Of
rich. Is
course.
all about us. So it's the audacity that she stood up to just call out her father, of course, which this is going to create controversies for her, for people who support her father, for people who, the white people, of course, also, yeah, you talk to your daughter, what the heck is she doing? We want you there still, those kind of things. We know that is happening. The
Of
phone
course.
calls are being made. So it's the audacity of her standing up despite being a daughter of someone who has been there for so long. Has it taken time for her to speak up? Yes, she has, because we're not gonna lie, she's not benefited of being living lavish off that, him being in power. That has been happening. So
Of course. The whole family,
we go back.
no,
So,
the whole Paul Bear family is corrupt as hell. So the whole
yeah.
family, it's like Equatorial Guinea. They've been living lavishly, all in Paris, own homes everywhere. It's crazy.
So I'll go back and still not favor her a lot, because if you check our bank accounts, if you check our homes or our cars, it's all benefited off the corruption of our father, which is the majority, which is the citizens' tax money that you're
For
using to benefit
tax
yourself.
money and the resources of
Mm-hmm.
African countries.
Yeah, but they're saying that she blamed his 43 years in power for widespread poverty, unemployment, and the
Uh,
pain he has caused for the people having been in power since 1982 when he ascended the
uh,
power. And this rare public defiance from within the first family has sent shockwaves, of course, across the nations and across
like Joe
Africa.
said, because it was always so, like Joe said, shockwave. Because I got to send this thing, this Joe, real quick to play today.
Okay.
You're seen as children. It's like I forgot this President Nixon back in the '70s telling you the African people are stupid. It shows like they're so nice and kind. This is what it told you. You see, he said Africans are so nice and kind. They're like childlike. They're childlike in the head. They can't really do shit. They're so nice and kind. I told you, your nice and kindness is seen as a weakness. That you're stupid. It's how all of them think. So this is the president of the United States. But yeah, the Africans so stupid. They are so nice and kind, but they're morons.
Hmm.
Good.
It's crazy. But yeah, you can send the video that you'd like to
I'm
share,
gonna
but we're
send it.
getting into the
Go ahead.
Indian conversation now. Apart from everything happening in Africa, not a lot that has been happening during this weekend, but I'll be updating in case of anything tonight or tomorrow. But moving to the main conversation, we have Indians. Let me start with the first video, actually, how they were named the 44th tribe. This is 8 years ago when Uhuru Kenyatta was the president of Kenya. So this takes us back all the way to history. Understand that when these people were coming here with the British colonial system, and of course having Jomo Kenyatta named as the first president of Kenya, means there was a collaboration, that these people actually were all coons working together. Okay, because I go back to also understanding that Indians wanted to be in the same hierarchy that the white people were in, or
Of
the
course,
white masters were in. But
they want.
I
Yeah, they want, they want to be right
superior.
below. Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
superior to black people, right below white. All the
Mm-hmm.
white people will be in charge, but we'll be below them, but we'll be
Yes.
above the nigger.
Mm-hmm. So, of course, that history and that colonial period, and of course, having all that time before we had Jomo Kenyatta becoming a president, and after he became a president, there's a lot explained to see why actually Uhuru Kenyatta made them the 44th tribe, because we're talking about from the perspective of bootlickers again, from the Kenyattas. Okay, these are people who accepted leadership to sell away people for the fake money, for, and everything that they did, and not protecting, of course, the citizens. And I hate the fact that history is wrongly narrated, that we see this man as a hero and this is what we have in our textbooks, while the real truth is that he completely sold out the Mau Mau people. The Mau Mau
Exactly. And then not just sold them out. Not just sold them out. Tracked them down and went to kill them. So
the Mau Mau,
that's what
exactly.
that's what his British that's what his British handlers wanted them to do. That's why they installed his punk ass there. And then make up some fake history about him being a fighter and all sorts of nonsense. Shout out to most Kenyans who going back and research and know Jomo's a sellout. He's a puppet. They put in there. Never gonna leave Kenya to any of you guys. They're not gonna leave this rich country to you people. We stole it. We're keeping it. We put this moron in, and you'll jump around because you're not educated enough to know about puppets. And you'll think he's the leader, and he's not. He don't run shit but his mouth.
So let me share this. This is 8 years ago, when Uhuru Kenyatta announced that the Indians are now part of the 44th tribe of Kenya.
Government adds them to the list of Kenyan tribes. The declaration proclamation was delivered to the community by the acting Interior Cabinet Secretary, Dr. Fred Matiang'i.
This recognition will go a long way for Kenyan nations to continue being included and involved.
Because they want to be included because they've been stealing the country. These motherfuckers now they want to be like they're Africa. We're a tribe now. They never want to be part of no tribe when the British were there. When the British was out there ruling openly, you had none of these Indians wanted to be a tribe with you. Only Africans do this undermining shit. They destroy their own power. Doesn't even make any sense. You got Africans that live in India right now. They're treated like shit. They're not no tribe.
Yep, exactly.
Of leadership, governance, and management of our great nation, Kenya.
Our brothers and sisters,
our great nation,
heritage have contributed to the development and growth of our country.
So you see, so the fact that you can hear our own leaders.
Our country, our country. Those got to go. Listen, you got to go back. You got to have some videos about the British and the Indians coming to Africa. It don't have to be Kenya. Just say Africa. Go to YouTube and say the Indians used as force as the British coming to Africa. Something.
Just let me finish this one. I have them all aligned.
Yeah, go ahead.
And what they continue to do in investment, in education, in various areas that support our economy. It's therefore the wish of government that with this celebration and with this recognition,
and these motherfuckers are racist as shit. Everywhere you go, they treat African people like shit. This is not my imagination. This is a fact. Okay? Ask any Kenyan if they work for Indian how they treat it like shit. Ask any Zimbabwean like shit. Ask any Tanzanian like shit. Ask any South African like shit. And the funny part about this fake tribe, they don't believe themselves no tribe. See, they know that the Indian in South Africa is them. They know that the Indian in Zimbabwe is them. They don't do. You don't treat the African in Zimbabwe as you, or the South African, or the African as you. You want to play the tribal shit. They don't. They look at themselves as one Indian motherfucking race. Go ahead, Joe.
So we have, after they were named the 44th tribe, this is before they were named, a year before they were named the 44th tribe, they had complaints here and there. So they raised a petition for them to be recognized as the 44th tribe, because they were saying that they are being treated like outsiders, yet they have deep roots in our indigenous cultures.
No, you don't. No, you don't. I say no. Go back to India. How about that?
So let me continue.
He is as much a Kenyan as you and I. The Kenyan Indian has, however, been viewed with much mystery, if not suspicion. And he is often treated like an outsider. Yet our reporter Dorcas Wangira tells us some have deeper roots in our indigenous cultures than we may think.
In Kisumu and its environs, Aslam Khan is a force to reckon with. He stands out not just because of the color of his skin, but also the content of his character. 60-year-old Khan is popularly known as Jami Gore. He's a nominated MC in Kisumu. In 2015, he campaigned for the Senate of Homa Bay Moses Kajwang.
So you can see they've been in politics. They have political interests. It's not like it's not been happening. It's been
Because
happening.
because the African Job is a child. He's ignorant. He's a moron. He is a moron. The African's a moron. This is a fact. So there's like other people who hate you because you hate yourself. You're taught self-hate. So you love everything that's non-African. This is a fact. You know what I'm telling you the truth. Africans love everything that's non-African. Everybody's over top, and these are facts. And so you'll put people in who actually despise your ass as your leader because you're fucked up in the head.
Our people, listen to me. Me as an Indian and a person from another tribe.
Mtu kuniambia mimi kama Aslam Khan kwamba mimi ni mgeni.
And then tell me what these Indians have done for African people. Not a goddamn thing. Show me. See, I want to hear you talking. Show me the deeds that these Indians, what benefit have they brought to African people? Show me. I'll wait. Since Joby's bringing it up, I want to see where are the deeds and the good things they've done for African people. It doesn't fucking exist. Go ahead, I'm waiting.
I don't know any, but
of course you don't, because you know why? Because it doesn't exist.
Sababu I'm a Kenyan by right, not by choice.
Indian migration to Kenya
He's a Kenyan by right. No, you're not. You're an Indian. The people came in and invaded my country. You're not a Kenyan by right.
Today, the railway line from Mombasa to Nairobi to Kisumu provides a near-perfect metaphor.
Pause it. So what? The British
and the Kenyans today.
The British came in, put their slaves to India and forced them. They didn't come and say, we're going to come to Africa and build a railway. Remember, as Gandhi showed you with the British, they were the coolies. The coolies were forced to build the railroad for the white man. That was the white man's structure. So just because the white man made you a slave and you came into Africa doesn't give you a right to Africa. What are you talking about? White man brought. I mean, the British brought you here. We got rid of the British and we get rid of you too. Exactly. The British brought you there to work on the railroad. You didn't decide to come from India and build it for us for free. You decided to come and be our friends. I want to get to the point with the murder and the killing. That's what these Indians did. They leave it all that out showing this fake ass, this Kenya news. They came and built their railway. They forget about the murdering and the killing they did, the raping, and forgot that the Indians were part of the British Army. So when the British invaded, who do you think was with them? Raping, beating, murdered, and killing. The fucking Indians. That ain't part of her stupid ass damn documentary. Oh, they came and built the railway. Nah, they were forced to build the railroad because they were slaves of the damn. They were conquered by the Europeans.
Indians whose forefathers came to build the
unlike other people, Indians didn't mind being conquered. That's what makes it funny. Indians like being conquered by white people. That's why you hear Gandhi. Just in the Indian psyche, they love. They'll stick the doodle. They'll suck the doodle out of white man's ass if told to do so. Because remember, I told you about Joe Joby. India was richer than England by millions of dollars. He told you all these European countries are always impoverished. India, still all India's money. Indians never got mad. Ooh, it's a white person, yeah. Ooh, white people. They like, yeah, white people still all our money, still all of it. God damn it, yay.
Of course, Big Cheese, she's lying. Karibu sana. I see Big Cheese in the building saying, I'ma be honest, I believe I would be killed in Africa within 90 days because I couldn't be quiet with all the numbers in Africa. And he also says the news lady is lying because she's being paid to lie for these filthy Indians. And it's not even about the lie. I want you to understand this is also in history books. This is in history books, okay? This is what them claiming what they claim. It's because this is what has been long pushed. This is something I've grown up literally hearing.
Because white people like their history. And 60 years of independence, none of these African morons have wrote their own curriculum, their own books. Can you imagine this? You're supposed to be a president of the country, but you ain't changed your history books. You ain't the one writing them. This is absolutely crazy to me. Still. Go ahead.
The railway. His grandfather, Hardin Khan, left what was then the larger Indian subcontinent. Without the British borders that created Bangladesh.
His British force, the British came in, to say his family's from India. Exactly. The British, they the ones brought his punk ass over to Africa. All these Indians got to Africa because of the British. Like I told you, that's why they're all in Ghana, Nigeria, South Africa, Kenya, Uganda, Sudan, Zimbabwe, Zambia, because of the British. You get it? And Tanzania. And I had to tell you, hold on, Joe. Like I said, when I tried to get Cammy and Spikes down there, these Indians told me, nah, openly, this is that openly told me I don't want no niggas in my house. I get what? This how disrespectful these Africans allow these Indians to be. Comfortable. Said it to my face on the phone. To my fucking face. Now, what are they? White? Because you hear my accent, they white? So no, they're black, they're from Kenya. Oh, no. Oh, no. No. Oh, no. Like, what? You're an African country. This is how openly, because these Negroes have been so cowardly, so weak. In my face. Oh, no. Absolutely not. Go ahead, Joe.
1880s. He came via Mombasa as a businessman. He established his businesses as a dukavala or shop owner in the early 1900s in Kericho, Litein, Keroka, Sondu, and Migori. And the business tradition was handed down and within the family. What he says helps many Indian families to thrive. But why is it that many Asians, even those who are penniless,
they allowed to thrive, but did the Africans go to India and be able to thrive? Of course not. Because India's racist as fuck. They have a whole caste system. Their whole nature, their whole religion is baked into their goofy religion is racist. That Hindu shit is racist. You got Hindu temples in Kenya, and these Negroes don't even know what it even means. They're openly racist in their religion against your stupid black ass. And you allow them to build their temples in your country. Your fucking backward ass ignorance. You out of your fucking mind? But of course, only African allows people to build religions in their country that hates their ass. And that's the caste, and that's a fact. And whether you like it or not, don't blame me because you're stupid. Go ahead, Joe.
Succeeded so in business.
Katika mapato yao, wanajaribu kuchunga mapato yao, alafu ile expenditure yao. Unajua ile gharama zao liko chini.
And they came to Africa to exploit it because Africa's wealthy. And the British were there, and the Africans were putting poverty down. They didn't come to help. So this story he's telling is stupid. They came to Africa, when they came to America, to exploit it. He left India because Africa was poor. He said, let me leave India and go to a poor country and help the black people. That ain't what he said. So let me go to Africa now because the British are there. My damn rulers are there and is rich, and I can do my stealing. I can exploit these goofy ass bastards. That's what was said.
Simple na
Go
smart.
ahead, Joe.
Islam points to
Dumbass
history
dude
to assert
can.
that the Kenyan Indian is just as much a Kenyan as anyone else. The Bantus and Nilotes settled in a borderless Africa before the white man came. The Indians, who have been here for 2 centuries, were under the British colonial government treated like second-class citizens. They were also restricted in reserves. It was only as Kenya, due to independence, that they were allowed to settle
He told
only
you
in
borderless Africa, yeah. And those niggas no nihilists. That's white making up a fake term, nihilist. African, no nihilist. All these fake ass names white people make up, divide and conquer. That's right to borderless Africa. Where the Bantus were ruling all that parts of Africa. There was no borders. Go ahead, Joe.
urban centers, a policy which didn't curb the entrepreneurial spirit. The Kenyan Indian Congress also fought for independence. Notable contributors included P.O. Gama Pinto and Makan Singh. Aslam recalls that Jaramogi Oginga Odinga also worked closely with Mahatma Gandhi and Jawaharlal Nehru to help Kenya
They
become
work with
free.
They work with Mahatma Gandhi. So you know this story is a lie, which we showed you Friday. This wicked ass Gandhi motherfucker here. See, this is how they keep lying to African people. Think this no good child molesting ass Indian bastard was an ally to African people. See how this keeps still, these lies just keep going? How filthy this news is? All this propaganda? How Gandhi gonna want Kenya to be free, but he want South Africa to be free? He said, yeah, these Negroes supposed to be dominated by the white man, and us Indians, we don't care if the white man's on top. We just not supposed to be on the bottom with the blacks. And Gandhi said, we can't even go through the same door as these filthy niggas. We must make our own Indian door so we don't have to be put down with the niggas. And we know it's Africa, and black people are African, but we're going to rule their ass in their own continent because the African, as Gandhi told you, is a fucking moron. He stinks, and he's stupid. These are Gandhi's words, not mine. The African stinks, and he's stupid. But this fake ass news thing said, and Gandhi and these people are friends. And you know this is a goddamn, see, you know real history. You know what she's saying. This is a goddamn lie.
So
you know this is a lie.
You can imagine the mainstream media where, especially growing up in an African home, during 9, especially this type of news, this is a 9 p.m. type of news.
Of course, propaganda.
Parents constantly, you have to be there, like, because that is the time people are having dinner, right? So you watch the news, you listen to this story,
and you believe it.
You have many storybooks as well supplying the same story, and the education system of education, of course, doesn't want you to learn about racism as well. So
because the whole thing, because the whole thing is make sure Africa's still on the bottom, and they steal from Africa. Whole thing is to get Africa without the African. While you're giving all this propaganda, while your school books are all lies, and your puppets are all stupid, because at the end goal is to steal Africa. That's always been the end goal.
After independence, Indians who had been allowed to settle were either given the choice to go back to India or the UK or settle here. Aslam's family remained. Policies
they don't want to go back to India because they already control businesses in Africa. Go back to India, they're going to go back to being poor. And they want to rule over black people. And it's funny, are you Indian? Why wouldn't you want to go back to India? That's your home country. You're Indian. Why wouldn't you want to go back to India? Because I can rule over these niggas. That's why. You get it? And then you have common sense. Why wouldn't they leave and go back to India? The Indians? Why wouldn't you leave and go back to your land? Your country.
Joint partnership between African Kenyans and Indian Kenyans. Today, the story of African Kenyans and Indian Kenyans is a multiple narrative, with strands of integration, sometimes exclusion. Aslam insists that he is living proof that it is possible for the two to live together harmoniously as human beings and as Kenyans. The father of four has a wife.
Motherfucker, we ain't got to live together with you. This is our land. We don't got to live together with you. Come on. Don't know if they can live together with us and follow our rules. We ain't got to live together with you. This is our land, not yours. You take your ass back to India. Oh, but I don't want to go back to India. Go ahead. And Joby already told you what that Indian. See, this is all cap and fake. Joby told what that Indian guy told him last year. We run Kenya. Like what? And that's what they really believe and feel. That's how they treat you like shit. Joby know I'm telling the truth.
Yep.
I'm not lying.
Mhm.
Go ahead.
We have, let me switch to this other documentary. I didn't like the way it was broken down, but if you can understand, I did, it took me time to understand how they were trying to break it down, because there's this guy who's reading fucked up, he doesn't know how to read a sentence or shit, but it's explaining literally how they landed in Kenya. I feel like it's hiding some facts. Like I said, I couldn't find a clear video, even on YouTube itself. The videos I'm finding, and personally I've known, videos with numbers are always full of lies. Just that's the truth. The
Of
videos,
course.
the media
Exactly.
views,
Anything that's telling the truth, Joby, doesn't get numbers.
yeah,
It gets put to the side.
exactly.
So that's the propaganda gets the numbers. Exactly. Because they want to keep the system going.
Yeah, I've really learned that when I'm doing research. Videos with numbers, they're always mostly exaggerated with truths and lies. So I couldn't find a true based video on how the British colonial system, or literally how Indians as a whole, how they arrived in Africa. So most of them have literally so many numbers, and I'm not gonna dwell on that. So this is the least numbered video I could find. And let me share this and then we see what it's explaining.
Kenyans of Asian heritage have been gazetted as the country's 44th tribe.
Indians began to come to what is now Kenya even before the so-called European exploration.
For more than 3 millennia, the Indian Ocean has been more than a body of
And
water.
pause it. Remember, the white man rechanged it. It's not the Indian. Pause it. Not the Indian Ocean. See, they renamed it. How's going to be an Indian Ocean? And Africa is the biggest body of land out there. How you going to name that the Indian Ocean? See how the disrespect goes? They would change that name to Indian Ocean. How the fuck is that going? India's a little bitty country. Africa's a big ass continent. So why wouldn't we call it the African Ocean? Not no Indian Ocean. You understand what they've done? Understand the things they've done? Well, they changed the Atlantic Ocean that was known as the Ethiopian Ocean to the Atlantic Ocean. Because not the people that you see them fake half-looking white people. Ethiopians called African people, the blacks. How they changed the name of the Ethiopian Ocean to the Atlantic Ocean. How they changed that ocean right there to the Indian Ocean, which is a small country. It's smaller than a continent. So I go outside of Kenya and Tanzania, I'm in the Indian Ocean. You got your fucking mind. That's why you take power back and rename it. This the African Ocean. Indian. I don't be Indian Ocean, not near no fucking Indian.
No one questions that, how this became just an Indian Oceans while Indians are so far away from the African continent. The same question. But anyway, this is for educational purposes. YouTube, we're not here to literally spread any hate speech or anything. This is for educational purposes. Copyright disclaimer under Section 107 of the Copyright Act 1976. This allowance is made for fair use for purposes such as criticisms, comments, news reporting, teaching, scholarship, and research. So this is a fair use which is permitted for copyright.
Exactly.
So as we continue, I hope this doesn't bring any issue.
Among the most significant of these travelers were Indian merchants, whose doors began anchoring on the East African coast centuries before the first colonial flags were planted. They brought spices, textiles, and beads, but they also brought ideas, customs, and craftsmanship that would become woven into the very fabric of the coast's identity. From the carved doors of Lamu to the merchant houses of Zanzibar, their presence was not one of conquest, but of gradual, deep-rooted integration. This was the foundation upon which one of East Africa's most consequential diasporas was built. As the renowned Kenyan archaeologist and scholar, Dr. George Abungu has noted. The Asian Africans were a part of the making of Kenya, and their heritage is representative of this.
Like I said, it's mixed with truths and lies, and this is still the
A
list which
lie.
I know it's mixed with truths and lies because
So,
I know the true history already to be
you know,
lied to.
it's a lie because they forgot about the slave trade in East Africa. See that these moron, and I know this archaeologist, since him being a kid, he was paid. He's a moron. So they never mention, as you go to Zanzibar and see the slave trade, and also in Kenya, that the Indians were deeply involved in enslaving Africans. That's why you got Africans in India today that were taken away from Kenya, from Tanzania, as slaves. See, that's not even mentioning this dumbass thing.
The simplest history to just understand what took place even in Kenya is during the safari rally history we did with the video of Lynn Ngugi explaining everything what went down. We saw it was Africans literally who are participating day and night.
Forced labor. They were participating, they were enslaved, they were forced labor.
Exactly, to build this pathway for these white people who are coming here to, pass their cars everywhere in the wildlife, whatever, and they didn't care whether they had food, they had water. That was where we didn't see any Indian mentioned.
No, you didn't.
History.
No, you didn't.
So
you didn't.
For them saying we contributed a lot in the making of your country. That is not part of it. And we don't see it. This is what you say. We don't have documentaries about it.
Their presence was not a footnote, it was foundational.
Foundational. This is this is propaganda, guys. This is what they use to have the Kenyan people believe that these people always been there. It's a lie. They were helping. That's a lie. It's all a lie. This is propaganda. That's why you don't get rid of this. Is a lie. Propaganda.
Long before colonial railroads, Indian artisans were leaving their mark on East Africa. In the late 1500s, masons from Goa were instrumental in helping the Portuguese construct Fort Jesus in Mombasa.
So there you go. The Europeans, for the Indians again were already slaves, helping the Portuguese who were there for slavery, from robbing, and what they there for. Understand this? This documentary is so fucking stupid. And what they were there for, the Portuguese, they were for stealing and robbing and slavery. You say the Indians were there to help them. Oh, they were their buddies? They were just there to help them? This whole thing sounds stupid. They were there to help them.
I'm going to share a little bit of it because I'm not going to lie. Personally, I was not capping with everything. It showcases as part of the history, but it's full of lies. And that's why, I gave a disclaimer of my own as well. I didn't find a good video well narrating what took place this time. That they've taken down most of the information.
I want you to go to say slavery in East Africa taken to India. That's what I want you to type that in Google.
In Google, okay. Slavery.
Yeah, say slavery. No, my fault. Just say slaves in East Africa taken to India. This old fake ass history they give you. Oh, they were so kind. They just helped the Portuguese build the fort. Why would the Portuguese build a fort on somebody else's land? So they can steal. That's why you built a fort. They were there because they were stealing that part of Africa.
Evidence demonstrates that Africans were living in India as slaves and free individuals as early as the 13th century CE. The slaves.
So they were living as slaves. How'd they get there? Since the Indians were their buddies, why were Africans as slaves in India? Since in this video, the Indians came in to be our friends. Ooh, what?
The slave trade that transported most Africans to India is called the East African slave trade because Africans were from east coast of Africa to the west.
East coast, that's Kenya, that's Tanzania, that's Mozambique. That's they were taking a slave. I thought the Indians came to be our friends in East Africa. Yeah.
So
They don't mention the slavery.
exactly. Let us look at this one.
Some plantations in British colonies that operated just 100 years ago. Some of these workers are enslaved Africans. Some are indentured servants from India. Can you tell the difference? After slavery was abolished, Britain replaced its enslaved workers with a cheap alternative: indentured servants. In this new system, millions of people were coerced into signing away their rights for 5 to 10 years at a time. This system is not ancient history. Some of its survivors could still be alive.
बहुत दुख तकलीफ काटे के पड़ा। अरे हम गोरा लोग लाश से मारे इससे। अच्छा गोरा लोग लाश से मारे, काम नहीं करे, चाबुक लगाए गाड़ी पर।
The white men used to beat us. The white men used to beat us with whips.
हाँ कोई सुनवाई नहीं।
These workers became bound to overseas employers where they endured harrowing abuse and exploitation for the duration of their contract.
I would call the system of indenture a hidden history, and it is and has been deliberately obscured from our national narrative.
And it's always the same amount of people. It's always the same people committing all the wicked shit. The white people. And it's funny. Everywhere they go, it's always some wicked shit. But they don't. Everybody always want to rewrite history and change it, because every time it's them. It's always them. But you call themselves English, French, German. These are fake ass names, big countries. Portuguese, the Dutch. They're Europeans. They're white. They're the same damn tribal people. Always them going someplace, murdering, killing, stealing, robbing, raping. They used to beat us with the whip.
In East Africa is one of the most historically significant and deeply rooted communities in the region. While many believe that Indian migration to East Africa began during British colonial rule with the construction of the Uganda Railway, historical evidence suggests that the relationship between India and East Africa dates back over 2,000 years. Indian traders, artisans, and professionals have contributed to the region's economic and cultural fabric for centuries, forming a vibrant and influential community. This video explores the reasons behind the large Indian diaspora in East Africa, examining historical trade ties.
A vibrant thing of racism, enslavement, and cruelty. See, that's not going to be mentioned in this fake documentary. Ain't it funny? Everywhere they go, as the South Africans, oh, the Indians are cruel as fuck. As the Zimbabweans, Indians are cruel as fuck. Okay.
So far, those are 3 documentaries I've pulled, and you can see, you can notice the lie in between the conversations.
Yeah.
So I'm telling you really how they're completely fixing the truth with lies, how they're trying to make people believe.
Yeah. How they came to Africa, they were so helpful and loving. And that's why Idi Amin said, get all these motherfuckers out here now. So they did nothing but exploit African people, because that's what they do. They're racist as shit. That's their culture. That's a fact. They're racist as hell. I don't see that. No one's going to defend and say I'm lying. They know this is a fact. Right? Idi Amin says you came here, the British brought you, Uganda, you've been racist towards African people, you have. And now it's time for you to go. Time for you to go. And it's funny. As soon as Idi Amin lost power, they came right back. And it's funny. They came right back because they love being exploitive to African people. African people are the ones that'll let you just fuck over them, treat them like shit, and still worship. Ooh, Gandhi. Like Maria told you, they got a bunch of new Gandhi statues today in Uganda. Today. You got dumbass Idi Amin, a dumbass for 70. Oh, you people are smart. You came to help us. You help us. You help us. I know I'm stupid. You Indian people. Idi Amin chased you away. I brought you back because you good people. You do. I get to be the leader, me and Captain Crunch. You do. Oh, that's what I'm talking about.
By the 1820s, Gujarati craftsmen were exporting intricately carved wood to the coast's ruling elite. With every consignment of goods came families, communities, and a quiet permanence. The Indian Ocean trade route was a sophisticated network, and Indian merchants, financiers, and artisans were its backbone. As historian James R. Brennan documents,
you see how they never mention the slavery system? That's why they're trying to make Gandhi into a hero. These are all lies. They're make Gandhi into a hero in our lives. It's Gandhi, Gandhi. It's all lies to make sure they steal African land. Okay, lies. They keep all your enemies. They made heroes. The Europeans, your hero. The Indians, they've all been crucial and destroyed Africa. Crucial. So all you get is propaganda all the time in your fucking head. How these people been instrumental in your downfall. That's that part of these documentaries. Oh, a few Indians, yes, came to Africa as slave runners, but there wasn't a bunch of them. They didn't show up in numbers until the British brought them in. They wasn't a bunch of numbers in no Africa. Oh, they've had connections for thousands of years. So what? We traded back and forth. There wasn't a bunch of them motherfuckers in Africa until the British brought them in numbers. Go ahead, Joby.
The 1840s, Indians based in Zanzibar had come to dominate the financing of the caravan trade into the interior.
They came to dominate it, but exactly. 1840s, and I told you about 1840s, right? I told you about, was it 1960 or 1950s? I told you the Ugandan brother, they had an uprising in Zanzibar because they're no good Indians and they're no good fake Arab. We're all racist. So they had to finally start killing their ass. That's what I told you. Ever look that up? Again, we're gonna juxtapose this bullshit. How could you come to another country and then start dominating shit? Oh, because you're already ruthless and cruel. Always forget that. So the Africans overthrew their ass in the 50s or 60s. They had a revolution. I think it was the 60s, where they killed all these motherfuckers. All of them. So these good Indians got murdered by the Africans. You know why? Because they treated Africans like shit. That's why. But that's not in this documentary. What is up, Joe, real quick? What's up, Joe, real quick? Say, the 1960 revolution in Zanzibar, where the blacks murdered most of the population. Or just say the revolution in Zanzibar. I don't know if it's 60. Just say the revolution in Zanzibar, where the blacks killed most of the population.
The Zanzibar Revolution was a violent uprising on January 12th, 1964, that overthrew the Sultan of Zanzibar, the mainly Arab government, led by figures like John. This post-colonial coup followed Zanzibar's independence from British in 1963 and was characterized by intense violence and ethnic targeting against the Arab and South Asian population.
South Asian mean the Indians, Joe. The Indians. Those are the Indians. So the Indians, they said, oh, they came to help. They came. Oh, that shit is a lie. They're racist, and they wanted to exploit African people. And so finally the Africans had enough. And overthrew them to start killing all of them. You all got to go. And you got to go now. But that's not, they'd always leave these little things out, Joby, when the African finally says enough. The Africans fight, that's never in your history, never. Never. There's all the Africans coming, they love, and they're supposed to be dominated and exploited by other people. And how glorious it is, Joby. It's so glorious that Africans allow other people to come in and just rape, rob, pillage, and kill them. It's so glorious. And this is history. And it's so glorious.
But as we wind up with today's conversation, shout out to John Mosquito. Nice to
I sent you that video, Joe. We play that video. Play that video.
Let me play this before I play your video.
Yeah, go ahead.
Global network, a system that linked East Africa to the Middle East, Persia, India, and even Indonesia, centuries before European colonizers showed up at all. It started as early as the 7th century with the rise of Islamic trade networks. Arab merchants, especially from Oman and Yemen, began selling down the East African coast. They didn't just trade gold, ivory, and spices, they traded people, and it grew. By the 9th century, East African ports like Kilwa, Mogadishu, and Mombasa had become key nodes in this human trafficking machine. By the
Slave
12th century,
trade.
enslaved Africans were serving in royal courts in Baghdad, Delhi, and Mecca, and it didn't stop. In fact, the Indian Ocean slave trade outlasted the transatlantic one. Slavery wasn't officially abolished in Saudi Arabia and Oman until 1962. Unlike
The 1962.
rely on massive plantations.
1962, you morons are running around about Allah, Allah, Akbar, la 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 la. And these motherfuckers just got rid of slavery 2 days ago. Enslaving your black ass, and you calling out they fake ass God. What God are you worshiping, moron? That tells you your people supposed to be enslaved by these fucking people. Sounds disgusting.
In some ways, more insidious. It moved
Yes,
into
more
homes,
insidious.
harems, palaces, pearl diving boats, and armies. Sometimes they were domestic servants, sometimes concubines, sometimes castrated boys forced into service as
I said they were castrated. They were castrated. Remember, they cut their dicks off. Black men, they cut your dicks off. They were castrated. They wanted to make sure they were still in black coochie. You couldn't get none of it. This is how sick. This is how sick these motherfuckers are.
This was slavery by every definition, and it wasn't small. Historians estimate that between 10 and 18 million Africans were trafficked through the Indian Ocean system over a span of 1,200 years. You don't run a system that big by accident. You run it with structure and efficiency and complacency.
And that wasn't in Joby's documentary. None of that was in Joby's documentary. The wicked slavery, the castration. That was either. Oh, the Indians came here to be your friends, and they prospered. They forget about the part about them cutting out people's dicks and shit. That don't make the story. They forget about that. They forget about them cutting out your dicks and turning you into slaves. They forget about that. Oops, my bad. I'm sorry. Propaganda.
Slaveholders could no longer control or tolerate Africans escaping to Seminole Indian land. They were terrified of a black Seminole rebellion, so they decided to remove
that's
all
America there.
Indians with the passing of the Indian Removal Act in 18.
That's America. That's America there, Joby. That's America.
Nations that established
Joby. That's American. That's not the Indian Indian. That's American Indian. So that's when I went to that Seminole. I went to that Seminole reservation in Florida. See that white guy say, "You're a Seminole Indian?" Yeah, I'm a Seminole. I'm like, what? And the other white people visit. Hey, you heard him? You heard what he said? He's a Seminole Indian. He didn't like no Seminole to me. Like a Seminole Indian. You don't get your ass out of here talking crazy.
So let me share this last video, then we wind up.
You just can't run things.
African can't learn things. He just, you know what he said? Start over again. He said, the Africans just can't learn things. He's a moron. But no, they're kind and loving, though.
But the Africans just can't run things. Now, that's a very, very fundamental point in the international scene. See my point? Oh, boy, you sure see it around this place. Well, yeah, of course you do. You see them. You know, I have mixed feelings. I receive their ambassadors. They change all the time, and I've had I love them. They're so kind and so nice.
See, everybody say no. Exactly. Then those Africans are kind of, they're children in the head. They're children. They're so kind and so nice. They're children. They're fucked up in the head.
You bet. Keep on betting. Keep on thinking. It's good to have those kind of thoughts. One experiences or two, let them fool you. It's good to be fooled. We've all been fooled in different ways, right? But you bet. Try me.
Children. Yeah.
Try me. I'm willing to die. Try me. Try me.
You know?
And they always want something like children.
Oh, God, yes, they want. What
Like
can you do?
children.
I know, but what I meant is it's so childlike. The childlike faith and the
So childlike.
And of course, a lot of them are.
I hate disrespect. I don't like disrespect in any sort of form. I don't. So this is disrespect. So try me.
Crooks, but we have crooks too.
It's not just disrespect, though. It's racism, but it's not just disrespect. It's the level of hatred. They say They see African. That's why I want you to understand how white people see Africa. They see you as a moronic child. And this is the president of the United States telling you on the phone when it's around. They don't have a candle and they're fucking stupid. But they're so kind and loving. It's like a child. They're like childlike in the head. Okay? That's what they see. Imagine when they see all these goofy puppets they put up there. Those are moron children. These are idiots that African people call his excellency. Are you out of your fucking mind? You ain't got an excellent president besides Ibn Traore in the Sahel. All these morons, misfits, knuckleheads, ne'er-do-well Negroes. Are you crazy? Like, that's why everybody, when they get up there and speak, doing damn the UN, everybody walks out. What? Get out of here. This motherfucker's a moron. Time for lunch, Sally. Time for lunch, Natalie.
Business, you've got to do education over there. But there are many other areas, as you well pointed out, where they can beat the hell out of us.
Yeah,
and they should be proud of those. Athletics isn't a bad achievement.
Athletics.
And you look at the World Series, for God's sakes, and what would either of these teams done without? What would Pittsburgh be without? Hell of a lot of
black people.
I love black music.
Music. They can dance, but they're stupid. But they're stupid.
Be therefore just pissed upon? Hell no. They're important. And also. In certain areas,
they can sing, they can dance, but they don't got any mind.
An easy style that adds enormously to our culture. But on the other hand, when you get to some of the more, shall we say,
serious things,
some of the more
serious things, brains,
profound, rigid disciplines, basically,
profound.
They have a hell of a time making it. You mean, and Ed Brooke, for example,
he's in the profound disciplines. He's talking about education. They have a hell of a time because they're stupid. In the profound disciplines, the math and the science. He's talking about which Africans are the ones created. He's talking about the profound disciplines, not some niggas singing and dancing, but the profound disciplines, the math, the science, the innovation. These niggas have a hard time doing it. They're just stupid.
In terms of good lawyers, there are damn few good lawyers among any group, but in terms of good lawyers, even though a lot of them go to law schools, I mean, it is not really their dish of tea.
Damn, he said the Africans can't even be good lawyers. God damn, my dad was a lawyer. Even with the lawyers, they can't even be good lawyers. Shit, that's really stupid.
Says a man who learned from me. Says a man who didn't know how to wipe their ass. Says a man who didn't even know how to read and write. Says a man who came from
you know that now. You know that now.
So you're not telling me shit. That is what I stand by. Okay? Unless you catch me off guard as well, trust me, you're dead. I swear on that. Like, you're not talking to me like this crazy. The disrespect is far gone. The disrespect, and I'm not speaking. Some people love to think you're speaking because you have to speak because that is your job. I'm speaking from pride. Try me, okay? Try me. I didn't have to be on cameras in Tanzania to showcase I'm a black hot fire. I went on. Try me. You try me. The disrespect is so far gone. We keep on listening to this bullshit. We think this is cool. This is not cool. This is not cool at all. And I'm calling it bullshit because it's bullshit. You're talking to someone who taught you how to read and write. Excuse me. I'm gonna stop it at that. I don't wanna be mad. I'm trying to have a good week. It's that week. My leg is about to be free. Hopefully, I'm okay, healed, literally. Yeah. So
it should be 4 more days.
Yeah, I'm not trying to start my week with bitterness. So, white man, keep on clapping your hands till you can. Ask Macron. He's gonna tell you better. Macron should actually be listening to you. He's facing the bitterness or the reality.
Country collapse. Remember, he told the Africans need to be thankful that white people colonized their ass. And even Toure said, "You need to be thankful that Africans put you guys on welfare, that you live off of us for so long. That's thankful
Yeah,
for.
that's why they also ensured we having guns or affording guns is very expensive in Africa. And the process of licensing all these things is also, because you're not gonna be talking to me like this, okay? If I was like one of the Mau Mau grandchildren and I own my weapons, trust me, I'm seeking my vengeance in every way I can. In every way I can.
Joey,
You
you Africans are stupid and childlike. You're loving and kind, but you're so childlike in the head.
We hear that a lot. We hear that a lot. It's not the first time Africans are this and this. We like the undermining until you come here and you face the reality. We like the underminement. It's so nice to see it. Then you come here and face the reality. That's all I'm gonna leave it at. You know, that's all I'm gonna leave it at. That's all.
See, and that's what I told. They know that you're loving and kind. I keep telling you that. They keep telling you. Now they try to make see Jack then I was in prison. Now they flipping there. Oh, you're criminal. All black people, Americans so criminal. You're so thug-like and gangster. Nah, that was never our nature. Our nature's always kind and loving. And he knew that. That's why he got the president telling you. They're so
Well,
kind and loving, but they're childlike in the head.
shout out to Jason. I like Jason's
Right.
spirit every single time. You know, I am part of this world, but I'm not
World, but
of
not in it.
you
Not
know.
of it.
And the hashtag goes to where we need to bubblegum all these people, all right? Shout out to Big Cheese as well. He's with it too, with nowadays, Big Cheese in the building also with that. I'm also with
What he
that
say? What he
because
say?
no, I'm saying he also pushes like, sometimes how he wonders how,
Oh no,
how our
no,
people
that's
are.
yeah, yeah. How we get caught? Because we're not as African people. We're too loving and kind, and we thought. And the sad fact, our downfall is that we thought everybody was like us, and we lost the knowledge of knowing that these people were created, and they were created as a polar opposite of us. Right?
Well,
They're
there
not kind. They're not loving. They're
should
not.
be these. We always thought there should be a limit of kindness sometimes, right? Sometimes
Should,
you need to
it should
be
have been, but the African didn't know how to do that. Uh,
well.
they need to know it now, but yeah, because you can't be kind to a wolf that's at your damn door trying to eat your children. There's a wolf outside, goddamn it. They say, "Hey, Wolfie, I want to treat you and feed you." So yeah, everyone's got to learn you got wolves at your doors. Everybody's not your buddy. You have enemies. African was still didn't understand he had enemies. Like you said, when the African goes to Europe and he's faced with that racism, because like you said, he was. They said our leaders didn't tell us that when none of this was in our history books. We didn't know anything about this. Exactly. You're not even taught you have enemies. You have African people. Everybody's our enemy. That's why you're supposed to be taught that as a child. Everybody's your enemy, and you're African. You need to get rid of your tribal shit and unite as African people. Because those are everybody's against African people. I don't care what fucking tribe you come from. Okay? Rest of the world, whether it be Indian, whether it be Chinese, whether it be Caucasian, they're against African people, black people. That should have been your first curriculum. Shout out to even Teray finally putting that in there. You imagine an African today still grows up in Africa not knowing he has enemies. Can you imagine how crazy this is? How you're like leading a lamb to the slaughter. Just to raise in Africa not to know you have real enemies.
But yeah, as as we wind up, literally, as I wind up, Big Cheese says, Keith, you're right. They make heroes out of enemies. 70,000 white people showed up to pay tribute to Charlie Kirk, Democrat, as America is going to have a race war. I see that coming. Shout out to Byron Scott. Shout
They're
out to
gonna
the
try. They're gonna try. And they only can have that, but when the economy collapsed completely. Everybody's too pharmaceuticalized. Everybody's too stupid. Everybody's too moronic right now. They're trying to implement one. I agree with that, but they didn't dumb down everybody too much. And when the economy collapsed, then there's no hold bar. When the economy collapsed, they're coming straight. You see where they went to black people? Had nothing to do with Charlie Kirk. They came after black people. So as soon as this economy collapsed, they're coming after black people. They said, yes, right. There's nobody to stop us now. Let's go kick their ass. And you better be ready. Because I already told you, this economy is going to collapse. Shout out to that one Chinese guy who was telling the truth about, he said, it's a mathematical, certainly guys, the American economy will collapse. And doesn't mean that's a bad thing, but there will be pandemonium. Their hatred for us will be unleashed. And you better get your weapons together. You better have your fucking weapons already. You better have your ammunition. Remember, they stopped selling ammunition for a time period inside the damn gun stores. You better stack up on that ammo, Jack. When this motherfucker goes down, when this bitch collapse, the white supremacist mind, fuck eating, fuck surviving, it's time to go kill some niggas. That's their mindset. Time to go get some niggas. And that means your children, that means your wife, that means your grandma, that means your granddad. Time to go get some niggas. And that's what they're gonna do. You're not gonna be worried about, hey, it's time to farm, it's time to get our shit together now. Fuck all that.
Yeah,
Time to go get some niggas.
We winding up with today's conversation. 4 minutes here. You've taken literally 16 minutes of Iwaton's people to go to her show. So yeah, that's what I'm saying.
We don't know. In airtime contact, airtime always starts late, Shelby.
Shout out to the Giggle Less. I don't know the Giggle Less. Somebody, what type of a name is that? Shout out to you.
Who's the Giggle Less? What is he saying?
He or she has so many comments about what you're saying. And
what did he say?
I don't know. He's asking, wait, you in another country? I'm in Kenya. Kate is in the States. So I don't know who you're asking. It's a bit specific. Giggle.
Wait, you're in another country. Go ahead. Let me see what he's saying. Go ahead.
What y'all sound like a smoke more than me. Oh, okay. He also says, creeps, we're all gonna die. No one is an enemy. No one is enemy. I think that is what he means when you're talking about Africa. We have enemies, but he says no one is enemy. They make us fight. Stop believing them. They want us to fight and stop fighting each other. They don't want us to come together. That is what is at. Yeah. Shout out to you. He, she, whoever. Shout out to you.
All right, good. Shout out to you. Shout out to you, man. They don't want to come together. Are you? When have they ever want us to come together? When have you white people ever came together and done right? So it wasn't just them. They. If you're white, you never done right. So they make the difference about they. You never done right, no matter where you've been. You know, I don't want to jump. We got a time. Put my little air friend. You've never done right. You don't do right. You've never done right.
Much love. I'm having my ugali, so pardon me.
Is it good, Joey?
Very good, man. Very, very nice. Yeah, but much love, family. Thank you so much for tuning in to everyone.
What's up, guys? I was going to do the show this weekend, guys. I went up too late. I just couldn't put that Charlie Kirk thing together. I'm still kind of upset about TikTok taking my channel. I don't know, every time I get a channel taken down, it kind of just fucks my soul up. I don't know why. I should be used to it. I should be used to it. I should be used to it. Each time it doesn't, like, man, why am I doing all this? It's not, I get channel check. Yeah, all the effort and all that shit just get taken down every time.
Luck uploading shows every weekend on that TikTok channel.
Exactly. I was uploading shows every weekend on that shit. Like that. All the time and effort. Oh, man. Anyway.
I saw you trying to open my channel. I was trying to get I was getting email notifications about you opening some TikTok new channel. I don't know.
No. Still that was my backup channel. I still get the backup channel, Joe. So I'm like, do I want to start with this shit here?
But it will grow. It will grow. You know, it is what it is. I've also lost so many channels.
I know.
I'm so used to it nowadays. Even someone, it was K Williams telling me today they sent me an informative video. I was like, in which account? Because I have like 1 million and I don't have access to them. You know, I know the difference. At least I have access to them. I just don't remember passwords. But yours, they're completely on. So
Yeah,
I know
mine is gone. Yeah, I can look at your old one. I just laugh because you got so many. You just forgot your password.
Well, yeah, shout out to the giggle saying it's getting big. We used to be bigger than that. Yeah, they've made us stagnant currently at
Yeah,
23,000. So
yeah, was that? Yeah, of course we're actually, when you're shadow banned, you don't get no numbers. Everybody knows that. When you're really shadow banned, I listened to one guy let me laugh. He said, "You know this Nick Fuentes is pushed. This racist bastard. All these numbers he gets. Yeah, because Nick Fuentes is what they call controlled opposition. He's not. He's a fake racist. They want that out there. So he's controlled opposition. And so shout out to everybody who realized Kirk got killed by those cats with those hats. Like I said,
but yeah,
Anyway,
much
much
love,
love, guys.
family. See you guys later and have yourselves a beautiful day. Peace. We out in the African.
How's your leg feeling anyway, Joe?